He's gonna want more money, you know,
Yeah, he is.
or more pizza.
His pizza budget needs to go up.
It does, yeah.
Okay, good evening, everybody. We are about to start our meeting at June 13, 7:18 p.m. And we're gonna please stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So good evening. And we're going to continue the public hearing. Somebody, do we need to make a motion to open it up?
No.
So we're going to continue your hearing, and nice to see you back.
Yes, and my engineer isn't here, so he's supposed to be.
Okay, do you want us to just keep going on the agenda and see when he shows up?
Yeah, I'm expecting him any second.
Okay.
Okay.
Just one thing when you talk, before you gotta say who you are, and if you're a resident of town or whatever, just for Zoom purposes, so we don't get into trouble. And you gotta speak up.
We'll turn off the AC for a little.
I don't even know what you said.
Oh yeah, we gotta shut off that anyway, it messes up the sound.
Yep.
The plant is part of our,
It does in here. I can see the mic trying to pick it up.
Sorry, everybody.
So I guess we're gonna, do we skip 4 and 5 for now? BJ should be here, right?
And did they sign on yet? They're supposed to be coming through Zoom.
Yeah,
Well,
they're
number
on.
5, okay.
They're in?
Yeah, BJ is here.
She's on
Just-
via
She was
Zoom?
just, nope, she's in the office. She was just finishing up something.
Oh,
okay.
Some work. Want me to go?
Well,
Yes.
we could do the payroll and stuff.
Yeah. we'll get your-
Yeah,
She's coming?
Yeah, she's here.
Okay.
So why don't let's do the payroll?
Okay, I'll do a motion to pay Jill Shalfu Miller and in the amount of $296.74 and $264.66 and $300.75.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
David Dufresne, aye?
Richi Hacker, aye.
Drew
Big-
King, aye.
Ed Longigan, aye.
Derek Bellis, aye.
Okay. Payroll for Kathy Zub in the amount of $56.07.
You have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Drew King, aye.
Ed Longigan, aye.
David Dufresne, aye?
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bellis, aye.
Approve and sign February 28, 2022 invoices for O'Reilly, Talbot, and Open Association in the amount of $3,591.41 for Lot 3 and $2,385.67 for Lot 4.
Do we have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
Drew King, aye.
Ed Longigan, aye.
David Dufresne, aye?
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bellis, aye.
Approve and sign February invoices for Merrick O'Connell in the amount of $950 for planning board and $736.19 for Sunpin litigation and $1,101.65 for ASD solar lawsuit and $70 for ZPT litigation and $280 for Copart.
Do
Second,
we, all in favor?
Drew King, aye.
Ed Longigan, aye.
David Dufresne, aye?
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bellis, aye.
Approve and sign, approve and sing Do I have to sing this?
Yes, you have to sing.
Oh, I put it on 3, I fixed it, this must be the
Yeah.
Approve and sign WB Mason invoices for $589.51 and $212.03.
Second.
All in favor?
Drew King, I.
Ed Longigan, aye.
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Approve and sign minutes from May 23rd, 2022.
Do we have a second?
Oh, I do have some corrections.
Oh, wait, I think, did you do Staples?
No, I didn't do Staples.
Oh,
I make a motion, we approve and sign the Staples invoice for $320.95.
Do we have a second? All in favor?
Drew King, I.
Ed Longigan, aye.
David Dufresne, aye. Where's Staple?
That's why you have the sing, I fixed it and put Staples on and fixed the sing.
Oh, the one that you
design.
sent us.
Oh,
Yeah, I did an updated
I'm like,
one.
I don't have Staples. Okay. So we back on to the minutes.
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye. This is for the Staples.
David Dufresne,
Ed Longigan, aye.
Drew King, I.
Do you want to go back up to number 3 then?
Wait, I didn't, who motioned for the minutes?
I did.
I did.
Okay.
Oh.
Who seconded?
The minutes.
Wait,
you
not the
did
minutes, we
Staples.
haven't done the minutes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
I did minutes, he did Staples.
No, but we didn't approve the minutes yet.
No.
No,
Right.
no, because you have corrections.
Corrections. But we can wait on that if you want to go to 3.
Okay,
You want to do that?
so let's go to, back to item number 3, to continue to public hearing and special permit. Number 300 and site plan number 66 for Donna
Scotulus.
Scatulas.
I'm gonna go grab BJ.
So-
because she wanted to-
Oh, okay, we need to J.
Got some questions for her, right?
We lost TV. The owl catches you doing that kind of stuff.
I know. Trying to open up my little piece of candy as quiet as I can. BJ, how you doing?
Oh, living the life.
Okay, engineer is here, so remember, state your name, who you are, and why you're here.
Donna Scotchulos, I'm here to see if I can get a special permit to either put in a few more apartments or maybe a duplex. And we have the plans. See
You gotta
if we
speak
can-
up a little bit.
We have the plans to see if we can do this.
Okay, so, your turn?
Yep, Mike Petras, Engineering Land Solutions. I'm here on behalf of Donna. We came in to see you guys, of course, but to try to understand the path through the building inspector, whether it's a zoning board application or building department.
So you guys been working out?
No, we're just meeting now,
Okay.
so
So we left it, that it might have to be a ZBA issue, right? Is that
Yes.
last time?
yes.
Okay.
Yep, and before Donna goes through the expense of the zoning process, we just wanted to exhaust any option through the building department.
Okay.
And then we heard you were
Yeah,
gonna be
I
here
mean, this is
tonight,
not the
so-
place to do it.
No,
This is
not
for
at
a
all.
special permit, not
Yep.
for me.
Mhm.
And I'm just gonna be truthful with you, you have to bring me what you wanna do.
Yep.
I'm not gonna debate or give you advice or opinion on what I think you should do. What you should do is hand in a permit.
Mhm.
If you think after doing your due diligence, that you need to either prepare for planning or zoning, then you should prepare for that.
Yep, well, we were seeking your advice at the advice of the planning board. So, I mean, we can leave the plans with you, we can schedule to meet with you. Basically, what it is, I don't know, have you seen this? Can I
Yeah,
give you a copy?
let me just say that I review permit
I understand that.
applications.
Yep.
I don't give a, I mean, I understand that you have all this documentation,
Mhm.
but this has no relevance to me unless I have,
An application.
right.
Sure.
That's what I enforce the state adopted building code
Mhm.
once a permit application is submitted to me with
Sure.
all the required documentation, whether it be a variance from the planning board, a variance from zoning, and then the building permit.
Mhm.
I mean, I can see what you have here. I think I've already looked at it several times, and it keeps changing. And I think, you know, you need to know what you're gonna do. It's up to
Sure.
you. It's not up to this board. I mean, it's up to this board if you need to get a special permit from them. But
Yes.
what you need to design and what you're gonna do, whether it's a duplex or multifamily, that's what you need to come up with. I mean.
Oh, we understand that.
Okay.
Essentially, we were in front of this board for a special permit for the apartments within the building, and I believe that advice came from you to Donna in the very beginning.
Mhm.
And then what transpired through it, we had those plans, but she actually has a decent amount of land for the center village. Even though it doesn't meet density requirements, my advice to Donna was possibly to seek a permit for a duplex, because then she wouldn't have to do the sprinklers if she doesn't alter the building, you know, the initial building.
Is it already a duplex?
No, there is no duplex on the parcel. It would be
Okay,
a
so why
proposed
would you have to do
duplex.
sprinklers? Have you, the ninth edition,
Yeah.
um,
Well, with the party
still
wall.
require you to do it, you know, whether it's a duplex or a multifamily.
Mhm. Yeah, we haven't run into it.
So have
We
you
know
done
what
your
their
code
townhouse
review
is.
for this?
Excuse me?
Have you done the code review for this and
No,
got?
this is all conceptual. That's where we're kind of at a catch-22,
Okay,
because with Donna's, she's trying to seek a path and obviously try to save some money. We are producing possibilities of what we need to do, but that's where we're kind of stuck, because we went to the planning board, asked for their review. I believe things feel well about the apartment expansion within the building, but that would definitely trigger sprinklers, for sure. And then the duplex came up as an option to pursue, and then that's when we were told your office or zoning.
okay.
So I guess we're kind of stuck in a circle. If we,
No, not necessarily. You
Yeah.
need to put in a building permit.
Yeah,
Decide
so-
what you're going to do. And then at
Yeah.
that point, when you, because I've not seen a building permit with exactly what you want to do.
Yeah.
It's you guys who need to decide that.
well, the permit would be incomplete because we don't have the building design plans to that level.
Okay. I
So,
don't
no,
know.
I understand it.
I don't know what you want us all to do. I
No.
mean, you don't have a plan,
Yeah,
is what you're telling me. You just said we don't have a
Well,
plan.
to
We have
that level, no.
conceptual ideas.
Exactly.
Ideas can't be put to paper
Mhm.
until you decide which ideas you want to put to paper. Unless I'm missing something here.
No,
I
no.
mean, you know, the planning board can't give you a special permit unless you have definite plans.
Well, we have those plans exactly for the building.
Mhm.
This duplex is another option that we wanted to pursue. If you're saying that we have to have a full permit submittal, which we understand from your department, we're kind
Would
of
you write
just-
me a blank check?
No, I understand, trust me, I understand what you're
Right,
saying.
I mean,
We're
you're
just trying
asking
to
us.
get a resolve for Donna, and I get your position.
Well, we
and I
can't,
get-
I guess I'm confused and
So I think what happened is, we told you we couldn't move forward because it was non-conforming. And you wanted us, because the bylaw was specific on it, and you wanted us to approve it against the bylaw. And we told you you'd have to go to the ZBA if you wanted to change that and get, you know,
This was for the density?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I think it was.
It's a
You
while
did say
ago.
6,000 per unit in that
Yeah.
area.
Yeah. So it was non-conforming,
Yes.
and we told you you'd have to go in front of the ZBA for something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's against the bylaw, basically. And that's where we left it. I don't know how you got with BJ other than advice.
yeah, I mean, if it's a pre-existing non-conforming, then you can't increase the non-conformity, period. But if, I mean, that's why I say you've got to decide what you want to do. Put together that plan, submit a permit.
And then they'll get all the direction as to where to go.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So, you know you're non-conforming.
Yep.
Try to get within conforming. Make sure you get your plans sent to BJ and your permits submitted to her so she can do her part. And, you know, we can do our part, but if you don't wanna go in front of the ZBA, you have to bring it into conforming,
Sure.
okay?
Mhm.
Yeah,
If
this
not.
all just depends on what you wanna do. I mean, you have this idea, obviously, but which idea do you wanna go with? And then you know already, well, if I do this, it's non-conforming, so I'm gonna have to get a variance from zoning, or if I do this, I'm gonna have to get a variance from planning for density. Whichever the case, but really, you guys need to decide what you wanna do,
Yes.
and then we can help you from the next step.
So, just to understand what you just mentioned there with the variance from the density, that would be planning for the internal density of the building.
Well, it sounds like I'm blind because I'm still, you've got all kinds of things coming at me. I don't know what you want to do,
Sure.
so I can't give you advice on a conceptual idea.
Mhm.
We need what you want to do,
Yeah.
right?
Yep, I'll have to review with Donna to.
Yeah, you
get the
just gotta,
information.
and then, once you decide, then, look, I've been in this business for 18 years as in the state of Massachusetts. You can make anything happen it just depends on how much you want to spend and how much time you want to spend doing the due diligence and putting together the paperwork and documentation so you can make that idea come to
Well,
reality.
I guess initially, what I wanted to do was to put in a few more apartments, period. That's what I wanted to do. And then I found out that I had to put in a sprinkler system, which is a lot of money. And so that's the idea that I had, and that's what I wanted to do.
And we're getting ready to adopt the 2021 code, which you will have to put in sprinklers, whether you do a duplex, multifamily, or anything.
Okay.
Sprinklers are gonna happen, and it's in the 10th edition.
Okay,
So
Okay,
I
so-
mean,
okay, so then after all that, and the plan, and I'm not sure what you just gave her, but we had
Just
all
the
the
site plan.
plans.
Yeah,
We had all the plans for what the apartments were gonna look like and everything, everything.
okay.
And then the idea of the duplex came up, which is where things started to turn a little. So that's where it's kind of up in the air. And my thing was, I wanted to know which one I could do, or if I could do both, or, that's where we're at now. Initially, I just wanted a few more apartments in the existing building that I have, because there's space there.
But you don't
Yeah.
have any apartments in there now. So
Right.
that's not an existing
So-
use. So you're not only taking the building and changing the use, but you're going to do a residential, which sounds like was a commercial use before. So
Right.
this is the building code, and I know it can be very confusing, believe me.
Right.
I take class after class, still after 18 years, and again, we're going into a new version of the international code. So this is all code, and I know you've got this structure here, and I can feel that you want to do something with it, which is great, but you really gonna have to do your due diligence and decide what you want to do your code review, and that's it. This is the state adopted building code. There isn't many variances from it. I mean,
So-
there are exceptions, I don't want to rule out, but definitely this code will lead you down the road.
So BJ, my understanding is it's gonna remain commercial below,
So
because you have the
mixed
post
use.
office,
Okay.
you have the post office below,
Yeah.
and that's gonna remain a post office.
Okay, so right there, you're gonna need sprinklers. It doesn't matter that.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
because
we
it-
knew that,
right,
we knew
yeah,
that.
all right.
It currently is a mixed-use building,
It
there's
curr-
2 apartments upstairs and 2 business, or
Right.
2 business
I
spaces.
just have empty space, a lot of empty space in the building
Mhm.
that I wanna use, put more apartments in, so he made all the plans for that, and it's all right there, and that's what we were doing in the first place, and it was going along well. It seemed like it was fine, and then we came up with this duplex idea, which is making it complicated, I guess, so.
Well, I think the duplex was to maybe avoid the sprinklers.
Yes, it was.
But I don't think that's the case
Yeah,
anymore.
doesn't
so-
matter
So
anymore
if-
then.
So if that's not the case.
Right.
Then We have the plans for what we initially wanted to do, right? We have those.
We have the original plans that we submitted, yes.
Right.
Without the duplex, we can withdraw that.
Okay.
Right, I mean, if it's
Then
not
without
that big.
without the duplex, you don't need a variance then, right? Or you
Well, it's still a
do?
density issue, that's why I asked.
They still have it, they're
Still do.
non-compliant, so they have to go through.
Originally,
CBA.
when Donna brought this, she was sent to you folks, so I would think that it is under your purview and your special permit, but I can't speak to that.
The main reason for the duplex idea was to
Not-
avoid putting
Not to
sprinklers.
throw all sorts of
Right.
stuff at it.
In construction facing.
So
it's
if
non-compliant.
that is the same, then we can just go back to the original plan and see if we can do that.
I think you're in a good direction. You have to choose one of your two options. Then do your due diligence about the non-conforming density. Go through CBA to get that done. And then if that goes okay, just come here and approve it. And then you go with BJ with your set of permit plans.
That sounds good. That sounds real good.
BJ, does that sound right? They have those plans, they come to us, they get their special, no, what'd you
You're
say?
gonna go to the
ZBA
ZBA
first.
Right,
Right.
because it's a non-conforming lot,
Okay, then they come to us, and then they go to you.
right.
Is that, okay?
Well, if the ZBA approves.
Well, yeah.
If they approve it, then you
Assumption.
can come to us.
Right.
Yeah,
But if they say no, it's dead in the water at that point.
or some sort of redesign has to take place,
Yeah.
right? I don't know what that means, but maybe the duplex, I don't know.
Maybe it just comes like a single house in the back.
Yeah,
Try to work with the code, like
Right.
our building commissioner said. That's your best bet.
Yeah, I just wanna do something, because there's a good amount of space there,
course,
there's a
yeah.
good amount of land there, and it, you know,
It's like a
improve
puzzle.
the way it looks and the, you know, the whole,
Right now, your first item on your puzzle is how many people can you have there living in the area? So you
yeah,
have this much area, you look at the bylaws and says, for this area, you can have this many people,
yeah,
okay? So now then you can, say, oh, I can have only 2 apartments. So I need to go to CBA because I want more apartments.
it's an area full of.
And then it says, hey, I have all this
everywhere.
space, I wanna do this, but the bylaw doesn't let me do it, but I have this space. And they may consider and say, I guess, yeah, you can do it, you have this space.
Yeah,
Once you have that box checked, you come back to us and, we do little details over there, here and there, and approve it. And then with that approved, you make your permit set, okay, and go with her. Then she will, make sure that it's gonna be well built.
So do we want to continue it?
Do you wanna continue
Pending
it?
review?
We
When
have
you
to
think
ask
you
her
guys-
because we can tell,
You
To
might have
continue,
to
but you have-
continue it, yes, I would like to.
okay?
Well, our only choices are approve, deny, or continue. You don't want us to deny you, and we can't approve it, so we have to continue it.
well, we
So-
could deny it without prejudice, and then they could just come back
You
when
could,
we're ready.
yeah.
So that would be okay, that's not like it's just that we're gonna.
Right, so it's not, because this, you keep continuing it, it's just
Right.
sitting there, and,
Right.
it's, at this point, they need to get everything together, and then approach it with all their decision made on what they're gonna do.
Right,
So deny without prejudice.
without prejudice, means she can come back whenever she's ready.
It's up to you. The permit fee would be the only thing that you have to, when we refile. What was the permit fee for this? I didn't file it, so I'm not sure.
It was 200, it's gone up to 300. 300 for a special permit and 300 for a site plan, so.
So I don't understand, why do I have to do that again?
if we close it?
Is your preference asking for continuance?
If we
The-
continue
the
it and you run it by the ZBA,
Mhm.
and the ZBA says yes, and then you can continue with us. We don't have to repost it, we don't have to do the whole thing, if we continue it.
Right.
If we close it, then we gotta repost it and everything else,
Start all over again.
and start the whole process over again.
So
That's
do
why I
we
was
have to do
saying,
that?
if
That's
we
the question.
continue it, you know, but we need to know how long it's gonna take you to get in front of the ZBA. Because I believe they only meet once a month.
Right.
I would
Maybe
think it'd be
even by
minimum
appointment,
45
sort of.
days at least for the continuance, just to do the notifications, the application.
So you're gonna need at least 45 days.
I would think if you guys have a meeting that far out, we'd probably ask for something then or further.
Maybe July 25th?
No, we don't have a meeting that day.
I would say give
I
2
would give
months.
it, I'd give it out to August, yeah.
August 8th?
I come back the 10th, I'm on vacation till
How about the
August.
Following
22nd?
week,
22nd.
22nd, August 22nd?
this way it'll give you plenty of time, because sometimes with the ZBA, they're not gonna give you something immediately.
Do they
Yeah.
meet as needed?
I think they
You're
might.
gonna have to
Yeah,
call
because
with
they have a
them.
45-day cycle or so.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you talked to Carrie Schmidt, is the tax collector, and she's the clerk. on
Yeah,
the
I believe
ZBA.
she sent me the information already.
Okay, all right,
Thank you.
yeah.
That gives you enough time to, you know, work with them back and forth, and then you come ready and you don't have to pay again.
Yes.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right, so I'll make a motion to continue the public hearing on special permit number 300 and site plan number 66 for Donna
Scotchless.
Scotchless until August 22nd, 2022.
I second it.
All in favor?
Drew King, aye.
Ed Longigan, aye.
David Dufresne, aye.
Rich Ihacker, aye.
Derek Bellis, aye. Motion passes. So we continue the meeting to
Okay.
August 22nd.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Nope, good, thanks.
Now we go to
Discuss
the
DPT.
DPT
Well,
thing.
I'll just,
Well, I just think it's redundant, or, it's not the word I'm looking for, but, look, you usually come to your planning board with a plan, not, well, maybe we're gonna do this, or maybe we're gonna do that, and I understand, you know, having ideas, but the thing about it is, we can't approve any ideas. We need to know, what, are you doing a duplex, are you doing this? And they know already, I mean, it's obvious that they know there's zoning restrictions, planning restrictions, and they're not gonna be able to meet them here. That lot's pretty tight in the back, and, you know, you got a post office there, you've got the salon there, I mean, I realize you're trying to put some more in there, but the real thing is, you're gonna have, it seems to me that it's financial, you know, we're trying to save money. Listen, I don't know if you've been keeping track, but money's hard pressed for everybody. And not to mention just putting together the proper documentation for permitting, but to get someone to do the work and the material. So I think you're unrealistic to think, I'm gonna save money because I'm gonna do a duplex or multi. Either way, this is going to cost you
Yeah.
money.
yeah,
The
yeah.
code-driven requirements for a mixed use like this, it's sprinklers. There's no getting out of that. When you have a mixed use with residential and commercial, it's sprinkled. And that's, for a building this size, if there's none existing, is a very hefty, I mean, 18 years I've been doing it in the state of Mass, I'll go out on a limb and 250,000. Maybe. You might get it.
Mhm.
Just for sprinklers?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a system, and it has, I approve the system under my building code, but then the fire also has their, sign off that's required. They can ask for a special standpipe, or they can, depending on the application. This is not cheap stuff. You're not gonna do this for a few $100,000. You're not. I mean, just 2 apartments, if they do the duplex and sprinklers, you're still talking, I can't imagine under 8.
Yeah,
And
that's close.
It's a
And
hefty,
how are you gonna recoup your investment?
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
Ever.
Right. Because, I know we're all trying very hard in many different municipalities, trying to find housing. But, you're not gonna be able to do this and then charge $2,000 a month rent.
Nope.
I mean, if you're in Watertown, in Boston, you
Not,
can
not
get
for a
it.
900 square foot apartment.
Yeah, for a studio, you're gonna pay $2,500. I know.
but now how you cut it, it's gonna be a hefty chunk of change.
Yes, sir. No matter
You-
how.
You can't get around it.
No, material cost alone, I know we all know what the gas prices is, but the material cost isn't far behind. And it's because of many factors that are driving material cost up. The supply chain is still very hindered, and I believe, it's causing a big increase in material costs.
Yeah. Okay, well, August 22nd.
I feel bad for them.
I do, and I wish that but, the thing is that when we start trying to conceptualize with them or give them advice on, well, yeah, maybe the duplex, then it falls, if something goes wrong. Well, you guys said,
Right.
that's why I try never to get into that arena, but I've learned from experience. I want to help everybody. I mean, God, but it's the real fact of the matter is things just are so expensive right now. I wouldn't, I got my personal home refinanced so that I can put in a new kitchen and another bathroom. And all the bids I've gotten, I'm pulling the permit myself. Because I'm gonna do the labor and hopefully be able to afford the material. And it's so
Stuff out
expensive,
there.
just for a remodel of a kitchen in a 3-family is outrageous. I had to have drawings, I had to, I had to do, I'm doing the whole 9 yards, and I hate pulling permits. Because they go, oh, it's BJ. We really gotta look at this one. That's what happens to me. I get extra.
Let's give you a grade on your permit.
You spelled that word wrong. Oh, you're out of here.
Okay.
Okay, ZPT, right?
Yes.
All right, so the issue is, we have a condition that says they need to fund a peer review account. They are not doing that. They have worked, they had a wetland replication that they did in November, and we have no idea if that took. So this is still really conservation is where this is at. But we're in charge of the fund. We're in charge of the peer review money. So right now, we're not able to pay for Beals and Thomas to go out. And I think we're actually in the hole by $1,000 or something as of the last invoice. So I talked to legal, and basically, they should be funding that account until it's all done, right? And so,
That was what was in the decision.
yeah,
And-
5,000, they're supposed to keep 5,000 in that account, so.
And not to mention the fact that it should never have been turned on in the first place. Because
Well,
they didn't do what they
well-
were supposed to do.
So that can be turned off if we vote and send Scott Mansfield something saying that they should never have been turned on.
Okay,
If we do that and send him something in writing that this site needs to be shut off and it shouldn't have been turned on, he will shut it off.
Okay. I
But
mean, the
didn't
thing
didn't
was,
he turn it on because we did not respond to?
Because we didn't respond in a timely manner initially.
see, I thought, the way I read the email, that it was
If,
respond, if you think it's okay. So no one responded because
Right.
no one thought it was okay.
yeah, if,
So-
Yeah, and he
And the-
took that to mean we didn't have a
But
response.
he
It
will,
was okay.
he did say if we voted and gave him something in writing and said, hey, this site should not have been turned on, it's not approved for production, then he'll shut it off. He'll tell them to shut it off.
Okay.
Have they responded
National
to any of the requests to do what they're supposed to?
They're telling us no, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're basically saying no.
They're not
They're
gonna
not gonna
conform,
fund it.
will
Well,
comply.
In
They're
fact,
not
they
gonna
wanted to get all their money back for Beals and Thomas. I mean, that's what one of the emails said. We want a refund.
And they don't care because they're getting their money
Right.
because the
they're
site's
not-
running.
Right.
and they're getting paid.
And they've already sold it.
Yeah, well,
Well, I don't know that they've sold it, but they got their smart money or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Borrego's the one with the selling.
yes,
Right.
but the
But that's what they do.
Well,
This is-
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I mean, they,
standard.
Not
Yeah.
what they do. My experience in this state is, I can give you one example after another. Ones that have gone bankrupt and the field set there. It's just frustrating to watch this happen again, especially to Warren.
Well, they honestly don't care because they're getting their money from the SMART program.
Right.
And they're done with it.
Right, and
They-
if you turn
they
it
could
off,
care less.
Turn around and sell it, yeah.
they got their big windfall, and
Right.
now it's like, oh, it really is very disrespectful that they've come and done this, and now, basically,
They've kind of done whatever they want
They're
to do.
destroying pristine wooded areas for a big money grab from Massachusetts.
Yeah,
And then
and that's
it's
it.
passing it off to somebody else and
Right.
saying goodbye.
right.
So should we ask for legal's help in drafting something to send to ZPT?
sure. That's for the electricity, but in terms of violating the special conditions, I think that goes to you then. So I
Well,
don't,
so I thought the thing was to have Scott turn it, Mansfield turn it back off, have the electric company turn the power back off.
yeah,
So that letter should go out from the planning board.
yeah, that would be us.
And then they're gonna call me when that gets turned off.
Oh, yeah.
And
You
then
think so?
Oh, I think we'll hear from them then, especially if they're in the middle of a sale.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll do a motion, okay, to send a letter to Scott Mansfield, the electrical inspector, to shut off ZPT's electricity for non-conforming to their special permit
In the
and
decision.
the decision.
Second.
all in favor?
Drew King, aye.
Ed Longigan, aye.
David Dufresne, aye?
Rich Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Okay, so see what legal can do for us,
Okay.
just so nothing gets bounced back to us, you know. Get them involved right away.
Well, they were obviously gonna come right at us with the
Well, I know,
attorneys
but I'm
anyways,
just-
as soon as they hear it.
They've already got, so, I just,
All they would have
Deep
had to
breath.
do is come and communicate. You
Right.
know, all of this, because of a 5,000 fund they should be doing and fixing a couple of items. But that, I think it goes to show, if you can't communicate with us on this level for what seems to be insignificant to them,
Mhm.
obviously, because they aren't communicating with us, they're the ones who put us in
Well,
this position.
ZPT needs to know that we're willing to fight.
Yep.
And we got lawyers too,
Mm.
and if they wanna fight us on this, for their failure to comply, then they can bring that in front of a judge and explain why they don't feel like they need to comply with the conditions anymore.
Right,
I just don't understand why we have,
okay,
it's just, it's horrible we have to get to this place.
here it is.
and I don't see how they can sue us.
Mm.
I don't understand.
They
Well,
will.
sue us, of
No,
course.
but but they
They can
did.
sue us for
Sure they
anything.
can.
But they've already sued us, and it's just like,
Well, they're gonna sue
Wait.
us again, that's all right,
wait.
They will.
whatever. That's why we have good attorneys.
That's what they do, and we already know
But that's
what
a
they
standard
do.
operating
Yeah.
protocol, you know,
Do whatever you want to do.
and we'll sue you.
What is that saying? You know, listen, agree to everything, and just do what you want to do anyways.
Yep.
Pretty much,
Yeah, that's pretty much what they done.
yeah.
Know that story. I have a tattoo here. I thought, since I see it so much, I'm just gonna tattoo it down there and forget it.
So we good with ZPT then?
Yep, I will contact M&O
Okay,
and get the letter.
okay, cool.
Okay, Sarah.
Discussion on Borrego now?
Will be.
Yep.
Don't you wish we could do whatever we want to do?
Lord, don't you know?
Number 5.
Okay. So where do we stand with Borrego?
All right.
Joe? Do you know?
Well, so we got an email today. I don't know, did anybody
Yeah, I
have a
sent the email
chance
today.
Yeah,
to look
Yes.
at
yeah,
it?
I read it.
Yep.
Um,
So
Basically,
if
the same
you want
thing.
to cross, we're here.
Oh,
Oh,
it's good to
okay.
see you. Okay, so what's your deal? What do you want to talk about tonight?
No, you
Sure.
put them on the
We were
agenda.
told we were on the agenda. We wanted to give you an update of where we are with the stormwater runoff. The email that came today was the infiltration testing that was completed a couple of weeks ago. Got the report last week. Dean Smith's Borrego engineer, he's also on the line here. In a nutshell, and Dean can elaborate, but in a nutshell, those infiltration results conform to the stormwater report that you received when you approved the project. There was one location, on average they did, there was one location that was perking a little bit slower than the others, and Dean has gone out to his consultant looking for some recommendations on ways to address that. But overall, it's functioning the way it was expected to function. Dean, I don't know if you want to add anything there.
Well, just to give you an idea, we tested 5 locations across the drainage basin for infiltration rates. And the average of those 5 came out to be 1.01 inches per hour. The modeling that was done on the basin during the design used a rate of 1.02 inches per hour. So on the average, it's very, very close to the design rate. As Mike said, there was one test hole that perked slower than the others, and it was near the control structure, which from what I understand is where some of the water had been standing a bit longer. I don't think it should be standing there for a long period of time. It's just gone a bit past the 72-hour design criteria. So SW Cole is the firm that did the testing for us, and I'm consulting with them to get some recommendations on what we can do to increase the infiltration rates in that isolated area that's reacting slowly. It probably will be something as simple as removing some of the surface layers and replacing them with better infiltrating material. But I'm waiting for their recommendation. And then we'll do some remediation of the soils so that it will function as designed.
Okay.
Okay, so there had been no cleaning before you did the testing, right?
No, it's the same way that it has been for some time. And there is a little bit of evidence that, you know, there may be some materials that have washed into the basin on the very surface, but they weren't, I was expecting before I went out there that there might be a problem of that nature where there were silty materials that had washed into the basin, and then when they dry out, sometimes they create a layer that's very hard and doesn't really percolate the stormwater through it. But we didn't see evidence of that. SW Cole also took some soil samples, and we can have some testing done on those to see what kinds of materials are there. Everything seems consistent with the test pits that were dug prior to construction, but we'll come back with a firmer answer on what we can do to remediate the situation and help it function the way that it's designed.
Okay.
Good.
There was no testing done on the, there's a smaller basin, and you know what, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna share. So this is the big basin that you did do the testing on, right?
Correct, yes.
And then there ended up a smaller basin right here. And that's the one where we saw the tadpoles, I'm pretty sure, right? So the water had been in there for at least, I think, 3 days or more, right, for tadpoles?
It was more than
Well,
that,
it was about a
because they were
week.
maturing tadpoles.
Yeah, so, can you take a look at that other, I don't know if it's called a basin or a, level spreader?
Yeah, there's nothing on our design plans for that. That must be just a natural low area
Well,
that
it's a
was
basin.
there. Is it?
it definitely had
it's-
basin-like structures.
It's a designed structure.
Yeah, yeah, it's
not a
definitely a
natu-
design
Not a naturally
structure.
occurring structure.
Okay, there isn't anything on the design plans, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm at a disadvantage because I wasn't the design engineer on this.
Do we, in those
But,
photos?
and I
would-
was
Yeah, okay.
misinformed about what the situation was, if that's the area that you were
I
actually
thought the
concerned
tadpoles
with.
was in the bigger one, but it's.
I'll go back out there and take a look at it, because I was told that it was the basin proper, the large one, that was problematic. So, and I didn't see any other drainage features there other than some conveyances that lead into the large drainage basin. So I'll have to take a look at that because there wasn't anything proposed on our plan there. There wasn't grading proposed there or any type of water management feature. So I'll have to go back out and look at that.
Pretty sure it was in the big basin,
Was it?
The
where the
tadpoles?
tadpoles were, yeah.
Okay,
Because it was at the end, it was to the far end where it was pooling, but the basin was going up, and you're talking about the other one, the little one that was over on the side there,
Yeah.
which was actually kind of like more of a spillway for some of the direction of stormwater.
yeah, as I was gonna say, I think I heard
It was
it's
a
called a
smaller,
level
littler one,
spreader.
but the tadpoles and stuff were actually in the bigger basin, but it was actually towards the end there,
Let's see, yeah.
closer to that corner
Yeah.
where you're talking about. And that was because the material that was being used was actually brought underneath. They didn't trim it back right. Is that what you discovered?
No, I mean, I was shown pictures during construction that showed it properly placed. It is towed into the surface at the base of the slope
Okay,
on the drainage basin side.
yeah.
But the pictures that I saw looked like it was installed properly, and our site supervisors had told me the same, that there wasn't
Yeah.
slippage, there wasn't any kind of misalignment of liner, from the evidence that I was given at least.
Sir, did you actually go to the site and see it?
I did go to the site, twice, and I was
Okay.
there for the testing as
Yeah,
well.
it was a big basin. You can see
Yeah.
this one. It's wet. You
Yeah,
can
it's
see
the
that.
big basin.
Big basin.
So
Okay.
what one of the site supervisors told us during one of our walks is that the liner was slipping under there, and that's why it was forming into a pool, and they need to cut it back versus
Okay.
draining. That was the excuse
It was the
that was
liner.
given.
Well, I can talk with them again about what they proposed and what they actually did do. But I was told that it was installed properly. I wasn't there to observe the construction of that, and we didn't excavate to look at it while I was there either. So I was just going by, the word of mouth that was sent my way.
All right, give me a sec, I can get this.
So, just so that I understand completely what your concern is, you saw evidence of ponding that was there for a more extended period of time, is what you're indicating. So,
Yes.
and it was on the far end of that basin, somewhere in that vicinity?
Yes.
Yeah, if you're facing up the hill, it was on the far left.
Okay, yeah.
And that, I mean, there were mature tadpoles there, so they take, what, a week or so? So the water had been there for a while.
Okay, well, I'm glad that I attended tonight so that I could hear directly from you what you were observing out there. And I will go back out to the site, take another look, and we still have an open consultation with SW Cole. So that would probably be addressed by a similar means. There would be removal of some of the material that's preventing it from infiltrating into the ground. Or if, like you're saying, the site supervisor was saying that the liner was extending too far under the drainage basin, then we would have to take care of that. So I will look into it further for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Well-
share one more time. Can you see this? So I'm gonna pick one of these pictures. So obviously the main basin, so this is what we had seen is all this water. The one we're talking about is, can you see the mouse moving?
I can see your mouse, yes.
So this one right here, this one was the one we were concerned about. So I don't know if that, can I zoom?
Yeah, that's not part of the main basin.
No,
I
it was the
think
main
that
It was the
that,
main, the
Right, to the main
tadpoles-
basin.
Tadpoles were right,
Right, but I'm
Over to the
saying this
left.
had water in it too.
that one did have water, but the.
Yeah, the main basin
Right.
is the one we're talking
Yeah,
about.
that's the one that was basically a swimming pool.
Yeah,
And that other one, yeah, it did have water in it,
right.
and that was.
So, I
whatever
mean, but
weekend.
that one should be draining too. I mean, neither of
Yes.
them should have water after 72, so.
Well, there's not gonna be any water there this spring at all, because we haven't had any.
Not yet.
Okay. So these are just some of the photos we had from that.
Maybe, it's like a 50% chance of rain now.
Which means no.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I think that was pretty much it, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Well,
All right.
okay, well, I will get back out there and I'll get some recommendations as quickly as we can. I don't know if you would like me to come back and appear again, or if you want me to make written recommendations to you. What works best for the board?
You want to start with written and
yeah,
then?
let's
Yeah, let's
do a
start
written.
with written first.
let's see.
Okay, I will get some recommendations, I'll write those up, the actions that we'll take, and I'll forward those to the board, either through the attorney or directly. But we'll do that first, and then perhaps I should come back and talk with you again.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure
great.
if we have questions, yeah, that would be best.
So we appreciate you looking into this and trying to work with us to solve the problem. It's very helpful.
Sure.
We haven't always had such good relationships with some of the solar companies in
Yeah.
town, so it's kind of refreshing.
I take the discussion prior to this.
Yeah.
Yes, I was unfamiliar with that project, but we try to be a good contractor, a good developer, and cognizant of the communities that we work in.
Thank
Okay,
you.
good,
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
okay.
Okay.
Then there's the decommissioning of the other company.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was.
It's
I mean,
nice when they want to work with you.
Yeah.
Too bad is at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly,
it's
yeah.
always better when we work together,
Yeah.
you know?
It
It
is.
Yeah.
always will be better
Right,
when we work.
especially from the get-go,
Right.
yeah.
So we're off to the minutes now?
To the minutes.
Was there anything?
And Rich's,
Was that
Correct.
email I forwarded about the decommissioning? Because they sold
What was that?
ADS, was it ADS?
ASD?
ASD was asking because
No,
they.
they don't have a, they just have a lawsuit, they don't have a project.
Oh, maybe it was something else. Thought it was on this one.
Decommissioning.
Or on,
Yeah, hey, this is
Oh.
Ben from AES. Yeah, we are the successors in interest to Borrego on the
Yes,
Cronin Road Solar Farm.
right, okay.
okay.
So yeah, I'd sent Jill the decommissioning bond, and I know there's been some discussion of when AES is to place our bond versus Borrego. But yeah, I'd sent that over from Jill. I don't know if we want to discuss that now, but if it's not until the drainage item gets resolved, where we will replace that bond, that, that's fine as well.
Okay, so you're the new owners, so you would take over the bond once it's all set?
Exactly, yep. So I sent Jill a form of bond in anticipation of that happening, so.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, I guess,
We'll wait.
yeah, we'll wait
We'll wait.
until the basin issue is
Yeah, one
cleared
thing
up.
at a time.
Doesn't make any sense, right, to,
No,
okay.
not now.
Is that okay with you? That we're just gonna wait?
Yeah, I don't think it's urgent. Michael, I don't know if, I know you had spoken with Borrego on it, and it looks like Dean had jumped off, but I think it's okay if we wait. I don't see an issue.
Okay.
As long as somebody has the bond, I think we're
Yeah,
okay.
and, I mean, I know Borrego would prefer to turn that part over to you. I understand the board's position on this, but, we are working in good faith to get this drainage issue resolved. The completion bond's kind of a different thing. It doesn't secure this, drainage work. It's really at the other end of the project. So with these guys running it, I think it would make more sense to have a transition on the bond as well, if you'll let us do that.
Well, the work's not completed. So,
Okay,
Well, and there's a couple ways to look at that. The work is completed, but there's now an issue that we're trying to resolve.
well, the work's not completed because they didn't complete that. That was something we found when they were in construction. And we've alerted them to this for a while, so they've never actually completed the project. Because we've never signed off saying, yes, everything's completed and it's functioning.
right.
Yeah, this bond again is a completion bond. It's at the, a decommissioning bond, not a completion bond. So it's at the other end of the lifespan project.
In that case, doesn't matter.
I don't have a problem with it, I guess.
No,
I mean,
right. It's at that end, not this end, so.
yeah, it's at the end of life.
Hmm.
And, they are working with us on the basin thing, so I don't know if, as a good faith of,
Well, we either do it now or we do it some other time, so why don't we do it now?
I have no problem with the decommissioning bond,
Right.
yeah, is transferring that.
Yeah,
transferring the decommissioning bond.
right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all we're
That's
That's
doing.
all we're asking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
all we're
yeah,
asking.
that's all, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we do,
Do a
Okay.
motion.
what's the name of the new company?
AES,
AES, okay. So I'll make a motion to approve moving the decommissioning bond from Borrego to AES.
Do you have a second?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Drew King, aye.
Ed Longigan, aye.
David Dufresne, aye?
Rich Ihacker, aye?
Derek Bellis, aye.
Okay,
Thank you, gentlemen.
well,
You're
You're
welcome.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now to the minutes.
Now to the minutes.
all right. So I talked to to Joyce, in conservation, and she just wanted to clarify a couple things in her statements. So basically, it's on page 2, about midway through, just, you know, I can't read her reading after 22 years, I still can't read her writing. She wanted to, instead of stay away from things, she wanted to say prevent material from entering the wetlands. And if material runs into the wetlands, then it would be in conservation's jurisdiction.
Where are we?
So right here. I can, you know, I can send you,
So instead of
Wording.
stay away from okay, yeah.
yeah, prevent material from running into the wetlands. Or the stream. It was really the stream. Because that's what we were talking about. And then the next sentence, if material runs into the wetlands, it would be in conservation's jurisdiction.
So how about we hold off on the minutes till
Yeah, you want me to?
changes are made?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you want to do that, or do you want me to supply you with language?
I mean, I think I got it. I
Okay,
can put it
all right.
and send it to you.
Yeah, yeah, let's do that, okay. All right, so we'll hold off on
Aaron,
minutes.
Yeah, that's next, comments and concerns.
So I guess, where are we with Copart? Have you heard anything from?
No, and I haven't, the meetings I've had with David, mainly at M&O on ASD, have been quick, and so I haven't had a chance to ask about Copart, or frankly, where we're at with ZPT.
I mean, because we were just waiting for Copart to get back to on our proposed changes.
And I emailed him about a month ago, and he said he was supposed to hear from them, and then I never heard anything, so.
Okay. Because I thought they wanted to resolve this fairly quickly.
Yeah, so I don't know what's
Okay,
going on.
all right, okay. All right. I did check with Devin from KP today, and he has still not heard from the Attorney General on the open meeting violation complaint. So,
Okay. I sent our bylaw in to Lori, who's gonna send it in, the wind bylaw, to
Okay.
sort of final approval by the
Okay.
AG, so I think that
Okay.
can take 90 days,
okay,
so it'll be a while to hear back from that.
okay, good. Okay.
Has anybody heard about if, because I'm hearing rumors that the solar site up on Quay Hill Cutler Road went bankrupt?
Agilitas?
Stop. Huh?
Agilitas there?
Yeah,
No, I don't know.
Didn't-
I haven't heard anything.
No.
that's what I heard.
I did send an email asking for more money. I haven't heard anything back. It's
That
been
they,
over.
Maybe that's why.
He usually gets
they
right
had
back to
no
me.
more money and they stopped.
Oh, then we need to stop OTO, if that's,
They haven't given us any, I haven't heard anything. Did
because
they say anything that they wanted to proceed or they're gonna stop?
No response.
But there's nothing. All their equipment's off-site, everything's gone.
Oh, okay, so maybe I can check with OTO to see if they know anything,
Yeah.
because we don't want them to keep going. If-
No, if there's nothing
They're
there,
gonna go,
no.
they're gonna wanna get paid, and then
Right.
we're not gonna have any, he's like the thing with ZPT, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
But I heard through the grapevine that they ran out of money and they're stopping.
I'm very
wow.
impressed.
Right.
And
Well,
then what does that mean?
So it's
Would have
gonna
been
be-
nice if they realized that before they took all the trees down.
Yep.
I know, but what,
But now there's a great big open space.
Which they can't use anything
I
for,
know.
because it's all ledge.
I know.
oh,
The
so they
wildlife will
couldn't
enjoy
put
it.
housing or?
No.
So you let it revert.
My neighbor, who was supposed to live next to me, ended up moving his house back and back and back and back and back, because every time they tried digging in, they hit ledge. And they're like, okay, move it back a little bit more. Ledge, move back a little more. So,
But with it being denuded like that, with the trees gone, and you've got ledge, where's that water going?
Wherever it
it's
wants
going
to.
to the basins right now, as long as the basins are being maintained. It's,
Well, if it goes belly up, then, well, maybe somehow have them take the fence down and just let it revert. Grassland, the wildlife will love it. It'll be a good thing.
it's gonna be great for deer hunting.
I was just
in a
gonna
couple of years.
turn it into a shooting range, right?
Yeah, nobody heard that.
Give away all my secrets.
Well, I don't know, you leave the fence up.
Up and over the fence.
Yeah.
No, that's nothing.
Those deer do clear that fence. I've seen them in there. Alright.
Okay, so we need to confirm that.
So, the other thing, last time we were talking about the difference between a gravel pit and a solar site, right? And why they're not, like,
Yes.
if we deny a solar site, why would we approve a gravel pit? So I talked to Joyce about that again. So she said, gravel pits by their nature are loose, sandy soil, so they drain well. A lot of the solar, I think all of the solar projects we have are on very rocky, ledgy sites, so they do not drain well. And the panels sit on top of the ground, and they have their own watershed. So each panel, right, ends up taking rain and dumping it into the area right below. And then the panel
Which
next to it,
channelizes it.
right,
all the
does
way
the
down.
same thing. So now the water builds, after every panel, it builds even more and more. So it's really a different kind of ecosystem than a gravel pit, so I think us,
And gravel pits are usually an acre or so,
yeah,
not 70 acres.
right, of open land
So-
like that, yeah, yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Yes, ma'am?
Oh,
Just have a question going back to Coy Hill. Are they bonded? And if they literally cut and run, can funds be taken from that bond?
After 180 days, it would be abandoned. I don't know when that starts, though. When does the 180 start?
well,
Probably from.
I can tell you right now, they haven't done anything up there in at least 2 months.
And this is like prime
Century.
season, right?
Yeah.
Seem to remember like a couple
All-
months
it's-
back that you guys were talking about trying to get in touch with them.
Yeah,
Yeah, right now, it's overgrown in areas. There's like bushes growing up.
So you need to document, take a picture, have someone take a picture each month,
Hmm.
you know, so that you can have that verification after that 180 days that there has been no commencement.
Well, if
Okay.
we've been having our guy go up there,
Yeah, he's been looking at the basins mainly, though. I don't think
but
he's
he's
taken.
gotta be noting something, saying, hey, there's nobody here, there's no
Right.
equipment,
He's-
there's nothing.
His logs are.
It's a ghost town here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
I-
one is
So
this?
that should
yeah,
change.
actually, yeah.
This is, which, Coy Hill one, there's something there.
They screwed
It's
the land
Beaman
up.
Road.
Yeah.
Beaman Road.
I agree, totally.
Well, yes, I
Agilitas.
guess start with
Agilitas.
ask if they know anything that's going on,
Yeah, I'll ask, yeah.
if they've seen any activity, and if they haven't, for how long.
Trying to think when I emailed you guys the last report.
But
So we're here,
That was-
that's where the bill came from, I believe.
2 weeks ago, whatever. Well, when we were up
Or
there,
even a week
we were up there when?
Like March.
February.
March,
Or
February,
February.
March, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the last time we were up there was February, and then they continued to March. And to be honest, I think after March, I haven't seen them,
Okay.
all their equipment pulled out. They got their trailer there, But that thing, nobody's there.
Go leave a note on the door.
Last one
And
turn off the lights.
to be honest, that field's overgrown now. Nature's taking it back.
All right, so they were last there, I mean, yeah, 2 weeks ago-ish?
We're talking about Agileas, Cutler Road, like, there's so many. Which
Yeah,
one are we
Cutler
talking about?
Road.
Cutler Road, okay, we were saying Beaman Road, someone said ZBT. So I have the bill from April.
Anything with
April
OTO is Beaman
Yeah.
/ Cutler. General site condition and activities, no
April 30th.
construction activities performed at site of at time of visit.
So they noted it, there's nothing going on.
Yeah. No construction activities in Lot 4. And they do have things to do. And they did complete, okay, so. Actions, oh, we want, so this is one thing that they did, right? They did fix some of the chain link fence. No recent action items completed. So OTO has been maintaining a list.
Yeah.
And they did fix, or they attempted, or started to fix some of the stuff that we found from our February visit. Remember the water had gotten,
Yeah.
down the sides of those
Through the
pipes.
basin there, the
Yeah.
back of the
Fire
basin.
basin, yeah.
Yeah,
But I don't think they completed it.
I don't know, yeah.
I don't think they fixed it. Because to be honest, water's still coming through there and it's cutting through the road.
Oh, oh boy. Can you email them and just ask them what the status of the
Yeah, I
project
tried
is?
emailing, yeah, I emailed and haven't heard back. Usually he's right back at me when I ask for the next
So the rumor might be true.
5,000 for each lot. So that was right after this bill came, so this came sometime in May, not too long ago. I emailed and then didn't hear back, so the next week I emailed again and didn't hear back from Josh.
So you really haven't heard from him in a month?
No, the money's here, I'm not sure with, it's in my last email, I can look at it, but, there was like a couple hundred left after this is paid.
Okay,
So we might be okay with what,
okay.
this
But I mean,
last one, but I
you-
don't know if they did a peer review in May.
But you haven't
There's
got a
gonna be no money for
response in a month?
No, like, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I'm on them as soon as the bill comes and
Okay,
and I'm up before the next bill comes,
Okay.
if there's a little, like a couple hundred in, because
okay.
usually the bill runs 2,000 to 3,000 for each lot. So, and he's always very quick with, so I was like, maybe he's on vacation, but maybe not.
Mm.
You guys had a question back there?
Does anybody, is the bond active? How is that like?
Well, they would have had to
insurance for the
post that.
year? Say
What? Well, they would have posted a decommissioning bond. I don't know what it was, how much it was, though.
Just curious.
I
You
wasn't
can look
here
at
for that. Yeah,
the-
Dawn, I think, does the
Dawn
bonds.
would know, yeah. Maybe
I
check.
don't know how the bonds go, so that's not something like they could just pull that out and the town is left.
No.
No, 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 they
No,
can't
they have
just
to
walk
notify.
away with the bond, no,
Okay.
no.
So we could use that to, reseed.
Yeah, if they
or-
consider
I don't know.
abandoning the site, you could use that to take this, because you're gonna have to take the fence down,
Right.
so, because you're gonna restore the site back to
Unbelievable.
condition.
Well, it's a lot easier without all those panels there, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Take the fence down and use it somewhere else,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a lot of frickin' money, a lot of fence.
Yeah, it's all the
Yeah.
route, well, two sites on our side,
Yeah.
but then West Brookfield would have,
I wonder if West Brookfield got
I was
any
gonna say, I
hands
wonder
up
if
yet.
they've heard anything.
I don't know.
That West Brookfield, array field going down 67, I think it was last week, I was driving by. We had had a little bit of rain, not a lot, and their two basins were full, and it was well after the 72 hours.
Hmm.
It's got nothing to do with our town, but it was just interesting, and I don't know how often they go out and look at that side. It's the opposite side of the town. I don't know, it's just something I noticed. I don't know whose property, whose solar business that is, but. Oh,
No idea. Okay.
I got one more comment. For VJ, actually.
Oh, okay, then my full.
Any
undivided-
chance you got some time to look at the building permit software?
For, okay,
Because I thought you were gonna
Permitize,
get
right?
back to us with what software you like to use. And I know Scott Mansfield had one that he likes to use too. And hopefully it's the same one, and maybe we could start advancing to doing that to make this permitting process much easier.
yeah, I just got, Permitize to do a demo. I can get him to come and do a demo for you guys. That's the one that I've used and
And I
have
think
liked
that's
the
what
most.
Scott liked too.
Okay.
Yeah, do we know the name of the one he likes?
I think it was that, Permitize or whatever.
Yeah, that's, I mean, that has turned out to be one that a lot of people are using.
Who used it? Brimfield, I think he said.
Hmm.
There's another town that uses it, that's local. I think it was Brimfield uses it or
Oh.
someone.
I can call over there and see if they use it. I mean, because the thing with Permitize is, you know, the price varies according to the municipality, and I think the municipalities that I have shown it to, that had some type of online, liked the Permitize better, and it was less expensive.
Okay.
Okay.
An online system, you know, because Permitize also can include the assessors, electric, plumbing, planning, zoning, conservation. All of those could be on that online so that all the departments can communicate with a particular permit instead of having to do this paper exchange. And it makes the permitting process, I think, streamlined and more efficient for all the departments
If you
involved.
have any information for that, can you just forward it to us so we can?
I'll
look
get a
into
hold
it
of the
too?
rep and have them send, I'll give them you
Yeah,
guys his
okay,
email.
yeah, that would be
And allow you guys to take a look. I'll get on that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I had.
Next meeting, I guess?
Okay. We'll have another one.
June 27th, it says?
June 27th.
So we're all good?
We're good.
We have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 David Dufresne, aye.
Rich Hacker, aye.
Kevin Longigan, aye.
Drew King, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye. We're done.